good many of them, like Zerelda Hart, struggle to get by, barely making ends meet. She lives alone in her tiny cabin, sometimes not seeing another soul for weeks at a time, until one fateful night. The year was 1870, and Zerelda Hart had met visitors, especially on a cold, rainy night.
Lord, you boys are soaked to the bone.
Yes, we are, man.
We've been riding for a long time. We truly appreciate it if we might come in and sit for a spell by your fire.
Oh, please do. Come right on in. Get yourselves out of the cold.
You all alone here, ma'am?
Yes, I am. My husband, Cleveland, took sick and died 2 years ago.
Don't you have no kids to help you out?
No, we never had children. It was just Cleveland and myself.
Oh, that's too bad. It's tough being a woman all alone. Especially way out here in the middle of nowhere.
My name's Zerelda. Zerelda Hart.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, ma'am.
What you doing there, ma'am?
These were Cleveland's. Get yourselves out of those wet clothes before you catch your death of cold. They might not fit you very well, but at least they're dry.
Thank you kindly.
You can keep them. I have no use for them anymore. I bet you're hungry.
But you've been kind enough, ma'am. We don't want you to go to any more trouble now.
I sure could stand to eat something, though.
I got some soup on the stove.
You sure are nice. She kind of reminds me of Ma.
Your brothers?
No, ma'am. He means his mom.
Oh.
Zerelda couldn't quite figure out the two strangers. She wondered who they were and why they seemed so secretive.
So where are you boys headed?
Home.
You been away for a spell?
A spell? How about you? How long have you lived in this place?
20 years. Ever since Cleveland built it. We've had a lot of happy days here. My memories are all good.
What's wrong?
We never had much money. But after Cleveland passed, things got really bad. And I had to borrow $900 from the Davis Savings Bank in Gallatin just to get by. I put up the house and land as collateral. Well, now that note has come due. And tomorrow someone is coming from the bank to collect. I have no way to pay it. I'm gonna lose my home.
Where will you go?
I don't know. Oh, I didn't mean to burden you with this. There's nothing anybody can do. Why didn't you get some sleep? And I'll get up and fix you breakfast in the morning.
When Zerelda got up the next morning, the only thing on her mind was the foreclosure of her home. She was sorry to see that the two strangers were gone. She'd never even found out who they were. And then she saw it. Left on her table were 9 $100 bills, along with a note.
Dear Miss Zerelda, we thank you for your kindness to us. We thought you could use this. Make sure you ask the banker for a receipt.
Several hours later, the man from the bank arrived with the foreclosure papers, ready to be signed.
Mrs. Zerelda Hart, J.T. Burnham from the Davis Savings Bank.
I've been expecting you.
J.T. Burnham was a man who was trained in counting money. There was no doubt that he was holding $900 in his hand. Burnham couldn't understand how Zerelda Hart could pay the entire amount that she owed the bank. He found it equally odd that it was all in $100 bills. But the thing that really surprised him was when she insisted on a receipt. He reluctantly gave her one, but was puzzled as to why she made such a point of it.
Hand over your money sack now.
I have no money. All right, don't shoot. You boys are gonna get into a lot of trouble for doing this. They're gonna put a price on your head.
We already got a price on our heads.
You can tell your friends you were just robbed by Frank and Jesse James.
Let's review the story of the good deed performed by Frank and Jesse James.
Hand over your money sack now.
I have no money. All right, don't shoot. You boys are gonna get into a lot of trouble for doing this. They're gonna put a price on your head.
We already got a price on our heads.
You can tell your friends you were just robbed by Frank and Jesse James.
Can it be this story is fact? Yes, it is. The event was reported as having taken place in the Ozark foothills in 1870. So do you still think that fact and fiction are polar opposites? Or do they occupy the exact same space? And trying to find one without encountering the other is a challenge that is truly beyond belief. I'm Jonathan Frakes.
The stories entitled Devil's Autograph and Mail Order Degree are true, based upon first-hand research conducted by author Robert Trailens.